Yeah.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Old School Barber Academy, which is now part of Schoren, Haarsnijder, and Barbier. This is the first day after the lockdown that we are allowed, that we go back to work. And I can tell you one thing, it's feeling really, really, really good. I think that I speak for all the hairdressers and barbers out there. I think a lot of you guys want to go back behind the chair because I don't think we just miss doing haircuts, but I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I don't think we'll ever take for granted the smile of a client when you show them the final haircut. Because what I found was one of the harder things of the lockdown is that we are so used to giving a little piece of ourselves to a client, and making people look good is make people feel good about themselves, which is highly underestimated. Somebody that feels good about themselves has a certain energy around them. You walk at a different pace, you walk a different walk. And if you get that feeling of showing something that you made, that you created, because that is a haircut to me, you know, and you get that feeling of somebody being grateful of that new haircut, and feeling good about themselves, standing within their personal zone, I think it is highly underestimated. If you take that away from us barbers and hairdressers from one day to another, you're missing a very important part of your mental food chain. And I've been working since this morning. I've got quite a lot of clients already, and there were piles of hair on the floor because going back to work after lockdown is absolutely amazing. People come in with hair like this, yeah. So there's a lot of hair coming off. So we're really, really feeling this. Now I'm going to do a little class on a friend of mine who hasn't been cut through lockdown, so he's got a nice mop of hair too. The rules in the Netherlands. Oh, sorry. So the rules in the Netherlands are, of course, we have to clean everything up, cup and sneeze in the pit of our elbows. We are not obliged to wear a mouth cap or gloves. So everybody in the shop can decide for themselves. Of course, we have to clean our materials. We have to clean the chair, our surroundings. We are being very careful with that. If a client wants us to wear a mouth cap, of course we will wear mouth caps. But the rules in the Netherlands are every barber is allowed to decide for themselves. Now, me here, I've got a very stylish. I know you're going to miss my pretty fucking face here, but you can still see my baby blues. So here we go. Now, one of the predictions that we got, you know, normally we got the cotton, very nice barber, old school cape. We kind of changed that to these plastic ones. Not so pretty, but way, way easier to clean. You can wash them at 40 degrees, still clean them completely. So we're using these. Hello, Len. I'm very, very fine. Now, the nice thing about my client here is, where am I have known Len for quite a long time. He is the boyfriend of my girlfriend's best friend. Can you still follow? And he's got an absolutely amazing mop of hair. The poor guy is a teacher, so he has been doing his classes with the, what's the name, the Zoom thing?
Zoom and Teams and
Yeah, so he has been behind the camera teaching children that do not put on their camera. He was very depressed with his hair. So when he heard we were finally going on lockdown and I needed a model, he was like, Rob, please. So here we are. So I'm very happy to not just give a client a haircut, but a friend a haircut. So, getting my shit out of there. Now, honestly, I'm not as much behind the chair anymore as I used to be, but today was super fun. Very positive too, by the way. As you might know, today, normally we are closed on Mondays. So today we open an extra day. We're working from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. And we're gonna donate all the money that we're making today to a good cause. We don't know exactly which cause yet. We're trying to decide. It's definitely going to be something local and something that has to do with either healthcare, whatever. For this live class though, I had to choose a, what's the word?
Non-profit.
A charity, a non-profit organization. So if you want to donate during this class, which is highly appreciated, if it's only $1 or €1 or yen, whoever is watching, the good cause that we picked for this one is the Red Cross. So somewhere on the live screen there is a donate button. So be generous, be nice, because these people work very, very hard for us. Now, this is pretty much how all the clients came in today. Yeah? And I know that Len usually has a nice short fade. This is pretty much what 2 months, 3 months of lockdown look like. Can everybody hear me, by the way, with the mouth cap? Yeah? So what I'm gonna do, this is a lot of length for Len. Yeah? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm definitely gonna clean it up. Now, it's been weird being behind the chair in the shop here because everybody asked me for a skin fade today. I do skin fades, but it's not my favorite. So what I want to do here is go short, but still keep a little bit of hair on the side. So I'm going to try to convince Len here that it's going to be better looking than just a skin fade, right? Now, don't get me wrong, because if Milky would do a class, they love doing skin fades. It's so very, very personal, man. And I love doing one, but aesthetically, I really like this slightly longer look. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is here is I'm going to start by dividing the hair. People that saw my classes before know how I do this. I follow the natural line of the hair, and then, see, I hope you can see that I'm not using my arms to do my first section of my first panel, but I'm using my whole body and letting the shape of the skull guide me through that section. Yes? No. I'm going to go quite short, so I'm going to set in the baseline right away. If you want to go for a more fendered look, like super old school look, what you can do is section this part away too, and kind of keep that till later, and then blend it into the back. Then you get that nice long fendered 50s look. I want to go a little bit shorter here, so I'm going to grab this whole part. Now, there is still some old product in the hair. I'm guessing green or pink maybe?
Yeah,
green. Yeah? So it's kind of greasy. But honestly, I love it when the hair still has a little bit of old grease in there. I actually like a little bit of old grease in my frying pan too. Just give that a little extra flavor. No, right? Shouldn't have said that. So So what I'm going to do here, yeah, now the whole haircut is going to fall or stand with that first baseline. Yes, the magic of the haircut is in that first baseline. So I'm really gonna, you know, the most important tools while doing a haircut is of course your vision. See? So what I actually kind of like what the hair is doing here. Now I know he wants to go much shorter, but it's telling me a lot. See, up till here, I can pretty much go as short as I want because I got the super nice flow of that longer hair up there, yeah? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna lift the hair up, yeah? Make sure all the hair is up. It's all part of that first section, see? To the skin, close to the skin, and I'm using that old product, put it all up. See, you see actually the lines go, yeah? So, up, and I'm gonna set in the first baseline, yeah? Up, okay, now move your body around, so 1, and check. Yeah? Step. Yeah, and I'm always making sure that the middle of the section that I take up, yeah, yellow, if you can just come here, see, I'm always making sure that I'm pulling the hair to my sternum. Yeah? So when I move around my model or my client, I always want to know where I am throughout the haircut. Yeah? So once that baseline is set, I'm pretty much going to look for the previous cut. Baseline. 1. See, move up, step, okay. Now, if I check that baseline, see what we got here. See, I took a lot of hair off already. Yeah, some serious length. But look at the flow. And the secret of that is all in lifting the hair. Because that means right now, going back to clipper work, see, I got my baseline. Yeah, taking some hair under there. See, I've all lifted this, so I can take this up. I can take this up. See, short, open up your clippers. Yeah, taking all this hair out here, boom. Yes, and now look, yeah, down. See, that is a very nice, fast way to remove a lot of bulk. Jason, could you be an absolute doll and get me George Clipper from downstairs? How long did you know you were going to do a flash, Rob? I know. See, double check. Yeah, you can already, and this is just removing bulk. So I'm definitely going to clean up my lines later. But that is a very fast way to remove. Oh, thanks, man. So, I'm doing this little class here now, but if you really want to see a great REUZEL class, you got to check in today at 6 European time, Rotterdam time, to the REUZEL page, and my sweet friend Emily is going to do a live haircut on the REUZEL page. You do not want to miss that class by Emily. She is really good. And much nicer to look at than little old me. So, moving into that nape area, removing both. See? Hoe is de verbinding?
Goed.
For everybody that just tuned in, be generous. Give $1 to the Red Cross. You know, we are very happy to finally go back to work. You have to understand. See, we are doing good with our barbershop. Don't get me wrong. But I can tell you one thing. This is hurting all of us. I've heard some horrible stories of people going bankrupt, little barbershops going bankrupt. And we have seen how fast a crisis like this can drain you financially completely. So we are with you guys. We understand what you're going through. And we really hope, we are so happy that we can finally go back to work. And our hearts are with everybody in the countries that are not allowed to go back to work yet. But we're sure it's going to happen as fast as possible. See? That is a nice line, right? So that is a very fast way of removing a lot of bulk without doing that super high fade right away. Yeah, because of course you can go up till here short, but I really love those beautiful fenders going into the back area. Yeah. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I kind of want to connect some of that crown area. So I'm gonna make a section right up to the highest point of the skull, the crown area. And I'm going to take a section right there. Yeah. Now before you cut any hair on the crown area, always make sure that you take a good look at what the hair wants to do, where the hair wants to go. Yeah? So, basically my trick here is I got my baseline and I want to connect that crown area, leaving a lot of length and weight because I don't know exactly what's going to happen there. So, I'm going to pull all that hair, see, slightly over direct that hair to the previous cut baseline. See, and by over directing and not putting any tension on the hair, what I'm going to get here is a nice fluent connection into that nape area. You know? Next section, same old story. Boom. See, it's all, I know a lot of people are like, tension, tension, tension. Lose the tension. I mean, it's always good to lose a little tension, right? Hair is the same. It is something that should flow. If you want hair to flow, yeah, you don't want to pull it into a direction it does not want to go. Yeah, so what you want to do is you're going to use the white teeth of your comb. Yeah. See, and I'm kind of let the hair stick into my comb. I bring it to where I want it, but I'm not putting any pressure or tension on that section. By doing so, you will always have enough hair to play with later. Yeah? I'm getting this super nice flow into the back. Yeah? Nice tricks. If you want to know more about these tricks, as you can tell, I'm at the old school right now. Now, the school is not closed, but of course it's very hard for a lot of people to travel to the Netherlands because, well, obviously there's not a lot of flights going, there's a lot of scary stuff going on in the world, we get that, but we will be back stronger than ever, and I really, really hope to see some of the people that are watching right now in one of our classes so I can show you, together with our team of educators, how you can use our techniques on every client. And I'm not saying that these techniques are the best, but they do work. It's our way. We build our shop, our reputation of the shop on these techniques, and we try, our purpose is pretty much to make doing a haircut as easy as possible, and also as easy as possible to explain to your own students, pupils, and apprentices. Yeah? See, so I kind of took care of the sides. I kind of took care of that flow into the back, yeah? Now, I don't know exactly how much action is going to be in the front, but I do know in a haircut, right, that this part here, the triangle that I'm taking out in the front, see, this is the hair that people are going to see. I know that us barbers and hairdressers, you know, we look different at people, yeah? We never hear, hello, my eyes are up here. We usually hear, hello, my eyes are down here, because we are just checking out the haircut. Yeah, I can tell you one thing. If you give a guy a haircut, yeah, he's not going to put his beautiful skin fade on Tinder. Yeah, he's not going to get engaged with that. No. This is what you show. So that's the part of the hair that I'm taking out to save till later, because I know that is going to be the most important part of what you see in a haircut, yeah? So that means one triangle left till later, and one very small triangle right over there, yeah? This triangle here is actually going to determine the squareness of the haircut and thus the masculinity of the haircut, right? Square haircuts work the best on most men models and men clients. So if I want to keep my haircut square looking, so a nice flat top pompadour, even a slick back should be balanced out nice. It's all about the composition of the haircut. Yeah? So if I want to keep a lot of weight and squareness in this part of the cut, I am going to make a connection and keep it quite heavy. See, lens hair is quite thick, so I'm using a little bit of point cutting for an even flow through the hair, yeah, and leaving this part quite heavy. See, previous cut baseline. See, making it slightly disconnected, slightly into the front. Yeah? Take another part of that triangle, about as wide as my comb. I like my sections to be a little bulky, but not too much. I want to know exactly how much hair I have between my fingers. And honestly, what I find the hardest part about working in these strange times are the gloves, because I use my finger Spitzengefühl. I really, when I work, I like to feel what the hair is doing. I like to feel how much bulk or thickness I have between my fingers. So for me, that is the hardest part. Not the mouth guard, because again, you know, Thon, I look fucking amazing, even with a mouth guard. You're fucking kidding, guys. But ja, toch.
Ja, nee. Echt sexy.
Super sexy.
Beter zo.
Hard back, joh. See? Connect and connect. En ik wil wel geen onder deze stand. Dan mij wel door dit van de twee. Okay. So I hope that Yella can show you guys. See, I'm still just removing hair. Do you see that? That is already a very, very nice basic shape to work with. Yeah? A lot of hair gone. So I only got this front area here that's left with a lot of length. Yeah, so I'm going to take a section in the front part, elongate that section so I can see what I did in the previous part. And what I'm going to do is, see, leave some length, connect, lift, yeah. Step, do your final connection into that funnel. Yes, that is one. Now, I am just setting in, and I said it before, this is just my sketch. Yeah, removing hair so I can see what I want to do with the rest. But this is what it came in with. This is just basically a couple of cuts, and all of a sudden the hair is telling me what to do. If I have what you can call a technique or vision or working ethos. It is. I always save hair to play with later. You know? I never go too short while doing the haircut because I believe you can only cut hair too short, but you can never leave it too long. You can always go shorter. But how many times does it happen that even during the haircut you're like, oh, I should have left this a little bit longer. It would have worked super nice. So I like to set in a very, very strong shape, but always with enough length and hair so I can kind of detail it into a shape I like. See, all of a sudden, yeah, I think you guys can all tell that is a very, look, this is pretty much what Leonard came in with. So we got, you know what, you can actually see. So we got the long side was the mullet. Yeah. And this is how my basic shape is. Now I am talking and moving, so I hope that you can imagine that when I would do this in the shop, and I've been doing it like this in the shop all day, this is usually what, like 3 minutes work, 5 minutes work, yeah? Because I go way faster when I'm working on a client instead of a class. Now, moving to the other side, as you can tell, I really, really love to use water. I see water as one of my most important tools in my haircut. Now, whatever you can do with water, you can always recreate the product. Now, in this case, there's still old grease, so mixing that with the water actually makes the hair super pliable. Which again I love because throughout the haircut I can really see what's happening. Yeah? So remember what I did on the other side? Up. 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 Yeah? Most important part of the haircut, that baseline. Now, of course I'm not going to give away everything. We still want the people to go to school. But the real secret of a good haircut, which is highly underestimated, is the angle of your comb. Yeah? I'm not even looking at the hair I'm taking off. I look at the hair I already took off. Yeah, so I look for that baseline and I look at the shape of the hair as I cut it in the baseline, and that's what I take for it. So what it comes down to is that if my baseline is at the right place, if that first line is the way I want it, I can tell exactly what to do with the rest of it. Kind of dry and then. Yeah? So I know that a lot of people really focus on this part, right? That's where the fade is. Don't get me wrong, that is a very important part of the haircut. But for me, it's all the most important part of the cut. It's not just the fade, but where the fade goes into the transition into the hair on top. Yeah? So that parietal ridge, that is the part of the skull that I have always found to be the biggest challenge during the haircut. See, whatever you do underneath the occipital bone, it really doesn't matter that much because the occipital bone is that part of the skull. Everybody that uses skateboard or still skateboard knows the feeling of a jump round, right? You're right in and you're being rocketed out. That feeling of being rocket, that is exactly what the occipital bone is doing. But you kind of miss that transition, that ramp on the side. See, this is transition. The bone, shape of the bone pushes the hip around. Here, it's a little different. Because it's more, instead of just transition, more of a bank. Yeah? So I want to see the transition into the hair on top. Because that'll tell me exactly how high I can go with that shape. See? Removing hair, removing bulk. Yes, I'm pretty much scooping out you see how the shape of the back of the head, the occipital bone. Hello. Really guides me through my cut. Yeah? It's the shape of the skull that does the work. You might think it's all in the arms, but it's really the shape of the skull that you're following. Yeah? Again, I really like the metaphor with skateboarding because you can really tell when somebody is skateboarding, you see people that practice, and when you practice, yeah, you're more like, oh, you want it so bad. But people that have been skateboarding for a long time, you see them flow through the skate park. They know the obstacles, they know how to use the shape of the skate park. Yeah, I know it might be a weird metaphor, but it really feels like that. I'm really loosening up my arms and joints. And I kind of let both the shape of the skull as well as the uniqueness of my client's hair guide me through the haircut. Does that make sense? Any skateboarders out there? You know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Yeah? See? Losing a lot of hair, keeping these nice fenders, which is good. You can already tell. I don't know if you can see it yet. But look, that is a nice shape to work with. Very masculine, very square. Godverdomme, wat is die lap heet van mijn nul. Zweet me even, wacht even hoor. Woe!
Ken je die, hè? Ik heb wel een bolle dingetje genomen.
Wat heb je?
Sexy. Zo'n bolle lapje, dat lijkt me erg heet.
Dat is ook erg heet, maar het gaat er ook om hoe je eruit ziet, Lennart. Hè?
Ja, ja.
Je kan niet na 30 jaar keihard werken om een stel voor de klootzak te zijn of opeens met zo'n blauw, met zo'n blauw maandverbandje voor je wel tegen lopen. Nee, dat doen we gewoon even zo. Ik hoop dat er niet te veel Nederlanders kijken.
Ja, genoeg.
Jezus, mottelt nou. Remember, highest point, second section, yes, taking a section, within that section about as wide as my comb, parallel to the baseline, yes, and then without any tension, bringing it to my previous cut baseline. Yeah? Look for that baseline. Now here, and again I'm not going to give away everything, but it's really the over direction to that baseline that is going to help you reach that perfect soft flow into the nape area. Yeah. Another section. Parallel to the baseline. Lift. Lift. Yes, because it's over-directed, I'm going to have a little bulge right above the occipital bone. Now, again, no tension. No tension. See, especially here. See that little dirty crown area here? It really pushes it up. Those are the areas that you really don't want to put any tension on the hair. Yeah? You gotta watch. You gotta feel. Pretty much gotta use all your senses. Again, that's why it's not easy for me working with gloves, because my fingers, my skin is actually what gives me the most information about the hair. So I'm kind of like one eye in the land of the blind right now. Yeah, so taking out the front triangle. Yeah, which is going to leave me with the triangle I talked about. Yeah, pointing to the highest point of the skull. Yeah, so taking out a comb-wide section in the triangle. Yeah. Keep weight. Keep some length. Because again, this is going to determine the shape of the cut. This part is super important because this is what you're going to see when you look somebody straight in the face. This is also the hair that if you go a little too short, it's going to be the pokey area. Yeah? So I like to keep a little length there because, again, if you like to do a super high skin fade, again, and it looks good, but back in the days, yeah, this is really what made those haircuts look so classic. A little fender, but super short sides, yeah, leaving it heavy, because let's be honest, sometimes within hair, it's not what you take off, it's what you leave on. Yeah? And when you're doing haircuts, sometimes it is so tempting to go super short because, hey, you know, that is the job we chose. We want to cut some hair, and I totally get that. But if you're an artist and you're like, for example, a sculptor, and you have this beautiful piece of marble, like this big, it's kind of stupid to end up with a statue like this, isn't it? I mean, there is a lot of really nice, beautiful material on the ground that you're going to throw away. For me, with hair, it's like the same. Lena's got some great, great hair. Yeah, by doing pretty short sides, but leaving length on top to play with, you're really going to accentuate the quality of that hair. Yeah? I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm really jealous of Len's hair here. And I know Len personally. I mean, he's okay, but he's definitely not the nicest guy in the world. He doesn't deserve it. I deserve it. Look at this feeling for stuff. Look at, you know, I'm suffering here with my tooth mouth piece, but we all see the shape emerge, right? Are we having fun, guys? Yeah, are they having fun? Are they asking really, really good questions and I'm not going to answer? Nobody? Are you donating? Are they donating? I fucking love you guys. Keep donating. They need it harder than us. Yeah? Again, all the money we make today is going to charity. And I'm going to do another class at 7 with one of my favorite models of all time, Mr. Paco Bacalito. The guy with the gray mohawk, psychobilly quip. I don't even really know what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be awesome. He hasn't had a haircut for a long time. He looks, oh man, that's going to be a super nice class, man. So I hope you tune in again at 7. Make sure you got your wallets ready for the Red Cross. And in the meantime, don't forget to check in at 6 on the REUZEL page to see our ambassador Annalie do what she does best. And she's an amazing barber, guys, so I really highly suggest that you're going to watch that one too. See, slight disconnection, because again, this is the hair you're going to see. This is the Tinder profile hair. This is the hair. Nice!
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the days, huh?
See? Connect. Connect. If you want to keep length and weight, go close to the face. Yeah? The closer to the face, the more weight you're going to keep. If you want the hair to nicely slide into the rest, make sure you lift the hair a little bit, because lifting is going to give you graduation. Too close? Good. You wish. Yeah, so see, removing a lot of bulk in the hair. This is my sketch. Now, I'm going to take one section right through the middle. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Since Len got a haircut. See, I got my length on that crown area. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly round it, going up. Up. A little bit of point cutting kind of depends on the density of the hair. Yeah? But in this case, Len has got some really, really nice dense hair. See? Up. Definitely keeping length a little bit away. But as you can tell, see, this is exactly the length that's going to give him enough volume to work with. And I'm going to leave enough length for Len to show off with. Actually, the name is Leonard, but Len is a little easier for me to work with. So, nocturne. Yeah, up. Up. And I hope that everybody that's watching is seeing that I'm keeping in the flow of the cut. Yeah? I am very relaxed during my haircut. And I hope that you guys can see, the same story with the skate park I said earlier. Yeah, the more you get accustomed with the shape of the part, the more you rip that part. Well, in hair, it is the same. You know, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I really like the security that I have within that haircut, right? Because it's gonna make me relaxed, because I know what it's gonna look like. I know my technique works. But as you can tell, my body, I know where I am throughout the haircut. And this is very, very important. See, I am relaxed. My shoulders are relaxed. My elbows are relaxed. I know where I am. I don't have to force my body for 1 second. This might be the most important thing in doing a haircut. It is, and I'm going to go there because I'm the most horrible dancer in the world, but it is like dancing. Because a good dancer knows where the body is at every moment during the dance, right? That is control. And that is exactly what I'm showing you here. I'm in control throughout the haircut. Yeah? Now, this is just my sketch. This is just me removing a little bit of both. Yeah? And I think you can tell it's already quite a nice looking haircut. Yeah? Of course there are, you know, the outlines, and I have to look for bulk within the haircut later. But if you look at the basic shape of the cut, yeah, I mean, it's super full, it's square, yeah? This is a nice shape to work with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dry the hair, yeah, with my vent brush, and I'm going to start. It's super important that you dry the hair as natural as possible. That's why I'm using my vent brush, yeah? And I'm going to loosely dry the hair so I can see my face plus the shape emerge. And during the drying actually tells me what to do with the rest of the cut. I know drying is super boring in a demo, but it's very, very, maybe one of the most important parts of the haircut. So here we go, yeah? There's still quite some old grease in there, so I don't have to dry it too much, because the drying of the grease is actually going to melt the grease down a little bit, which makes it, in a way, harder to cut. See? Now, that is already a nice shape, right? So at this point, all I got to do is clean up. See, so there's a little bulb there. Yeah, maybe a little bulb there. So normally I set in the base in about 8 to 10 minutes. which means that after the drying, I got about 30 minutes left to finish my haircut. Now, at Scorum, our barber shop, I want you to know every barber shop in the world has a different approach to pricing and how much time you can spend on a haircut. Now, this is a very, very interesting subject to talk about, and I love to do that in a class sometimes. What I want to say about it, there is a client for every barbershop, and there is a barbershop for every client. That also means, jongens, kunnen jullie, yo, heel, even nog even 5 minuten, een klein beetje. Thank you. Lovelies. Huh? Wait, is it too thick? You're not hearing me, Martin.
I think Martin might be a little too thick.
Oh! Shots fired. Where was that? Oh yeah. That also means there is a price for every client. Yeah. Because it is kind of what people want to invest in their haircuts. We take 45 minutes for a haircut and we charge a decent amount of money for it, but our place is just as packed as a place where they charge like the fourth of that same price. But you gotta understand, it does not make one shop better than the other. Yeah, 40 euros for a haircut in an hour is the same as 4 10-euro haircuts in an hour. It's still 40 euros, right? But I do think that the effort that you put in a haircut is going to bring clients back. They're going to talk about that one shop. So you got to think for yourself. I don't really like the expression that's going to go like you got to charge what you're worth. Yeah. You got to think about what is the message, what is the brand of your barbershop? What do you want to tell people? Are you going to be high end? Yeah. Are you going to wash the hair? Are you going to do a little shoulder massage? It's all part of that price. I really like. Yeah. I love to have all the time possible for a haircut. I love doing haircuts. I don't want to do 4 haircuts in an hour. Yeah, I want to take all the time I need because I enjoy the process. I love, look at that shape. For me, this is so satisfying. Yeah? Now I am not going to do an orgasm metaphor. Let's just say ice cream, man. If you enjoy an ice cream, you want to elongate the time enjoying that ice cream, right? Something like this. See, taking out a little bit of bulk, really cleaning up the haircut.
I want them to hear me.
Good shaping. Yeah, this clipper all open. See, I like that. So it is a short haircut, but it's not. Yeah, there is still a lot of length to play with. That slightly longer parts on the parietal ridge is going to give it super old school look. Yeah, one of my favorite haircuts to do. Plus, so I think the dude is weird. Plus, what I like about these kind of cuts, especially when a client has super nice hair, like Len here, yeah, you give them a very clean and short peeling, yeah. You give them their money's worth, but you leave enough hair to show off with it. So you're really putting your signature on the haircut, yeah? Now, of course, there's gonna be people that are gonna argue with me on this one, which is fine. I don't think you can work like this using only guards, right? I really love the freestyle feeling of the cut. Just using your clipper over comb, scissor over comb. So if you are like, yeah, well, I could have just taken my one guard. Yeah, you can. That is perfectly fine. See, again, I'm not saying that you should do it like this. Not even close. Now do it whatever feels comfortable to you. But after being in lockdown for 2 months, man, why shouldn't I turn my job into something fun, man? And my fun is to do a cut completely, freehand, sculpting it exactly the way I like it. And believe it or not, even though I've known Len for a long time, this is the first time I give him a haircut. This is the first time I give him a haircut, right? This is the first time I'm giving Len a haircut. So I did not know what was going to happen. Yeah? It is not like a regular that I've cut 1,000 times before, so I know exactly what to do. No, this is the first time I give him this haircut, right? So I think with that, you can really see that my technique is working. Yeah, because by dividing the hair into really, it's like a pizza. Yeah. So you're what? So you're really hungry for pizza. Yeah. You've been smoking some of the funny herbs, and you get the munchies. So you call Domino's, yeah, and you order that big, like, vegan cheese pizza. Man, you know, we're here. I'm gonna give you that one. And then you have to wait for the delivery guy to bring you that pizza and you really want to eat, and you smoked another one, so much you can eat more. Now, if the pizza finally gets there, what you want to do is this, you like bury your face. Yeah? But that's not how you eat a pizza. No, you cut it into slices. Yeah? It's the same with a haircut, man. You can just dive in there with clippers and say, oh, that's not gonna work, man. You need a sort of structure, and especially with the hair, when there's so much hair and it's like this thick. Yeah? So make sure that you know how to section your cut and divide it in easy to work with panels. Yeah, because like a pizza, the hair is round, so you gotta work with your triangles. Yeah? Okay. I'm using scissor over comb, blender over comb, and what I'm doing right now is just lift the hair. Lifting works if you want a little air Look at that. That is looking so nice. That is looking so nice. See? I am not putting any tension on the hair. I want the hair to be able to move where it wants to go. So I'm taking in consideration natural growth, natural move, but definitely gravity. Gravity is the thing that's pulling the hair down, see? So you want to follow the bounce. Yeah, there's a little wave. Just taking a little bit of wave. Yeah. I think the best haircut you can do is a haircut that does not need any product. Yeah? And I am cutting my own flesh here because, as you might know, we own a grooming company called REUZEL. Yeah? But my trick is, if you give somebody a perfect cut that doesn't need products, yeah, once they use your product, yeah, they're going to blame the product. Yeah? Once a gentleman gets used to a product and relies on it to always work, he's going to be using that product the rest of his life. Yeah? And I love you guys all to use my beautiful, nice REUZEL, but this advice works for every product that you believe in. Yeah? But it should be the haircut that does the work. So what it comes down to, you should never need a product to make the hair look good. You should only use a product to make the hair look even better. Yeah? That is the way to advise your client to use a certain product. And I really think that after this lockdown, a lot of people, I mean, I am never going to take, see if I'm going to, one of the nicest parts of a haircut, giving a haircut to a client, is when I can finally show them, look at that face, man. Yeah? Now, Len is a terrible actor. That's some real shit. Yeah? I mean, getting a haircut after 2 months of lockdown, but that is good, right? But I miss that feeling, man. You know? Making somebody feel good about themselves. I don't think any of us barbers and hairdressers are going to take that feeling, showing your final work, for granted ever again. Who could have predicted something so crazy as this coronavirus? Yeah? I mean, we have a very, I love my shop, man. And we have always been very careful entrepreneurs. My business partner, Lane, he was always like, Rob, we gotta have reserves, we gotta have reserves. I mean, I am the guy, if you give me 100 euros, I'm gonna spend 200 euros. Yeah? I am that guy. But thank God for Elaine. He's always like, you never know what's gonna happen. So, you know, not even us could imagine how much impact a crisis like this has to us, because we got our people to take care of, we got our clients to take care of, we got the school, Man, it's some scary fucking shit. So, the next time when you're opening your shop again, the clients are in, and you see that happy face, like, man, I really love this haircut. Yeah, I just really hope that you guys realize how important that is for your own, I'm not going to say, your own, I don't know the right word, but during this lockdown, I felt anxiety, I felt depression, I was scared sometimes because you never know what's going to happen. But being back here in the shop, man, I really realize again how lucky we are to have this job. Because you know, it's the thing. That is my energy, man. When I was in lockdown, in the last month, I didn't care anymore. And that is the worst thing that can happen, man. That feeling you don't want to get out of bed because you're like, well, today I realized exactly what I'm doing it for, man. For my clients, but also for my own mental. I need a purpose in life. I need a reason to get out of bed. So grateful that we're back to work. See, this fall is beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of wing out of this front area. Yeah, I want to keep some of the length because again, if you got that great, I mean, if you have to go to the gym to look good, you know, build that muscle, flex some iron. I mean, what are you gonna? It's like me hiding all my tattoos. I'm not gonna do that. I am an unit exhibitionist. I don't even know, man. But I got, huh? Yeah. Well, you know, I'm gonna buy a nice suit. I want to show it to people, man. It's the same with hair. You've got that great hair. You've got a great haircut. You're gonna do that. You're gonna show that shit. All these lines are coming together. Now be careful. I am not thinning the hair. I know it might look like that, but I kind of just want the hair to give it a little Velcro effect. Yeah? Because those slightly lighter ends of the hair, especially because I know that Lent is going to use an oil-based product. Those softer ends are really going to grab into each other, kind of holding themselves in place. Almost like using a razor on the head. I am not a big fan of using a razor on hair. I know there's a lot of people that would disagree, but I always have the idea that it makes the hair just a little bit too wispy. I like the bluntness of the scissors. But again, very personal. So, boom, boom, boom. Ideal, no, I kind of like the thickness on the palm. Yeah, that's looking good, right? So, thanks everybody. If you made a little donation, everything, every penny, every nickel, every dime is so welcome. Yeah, it's the people in the care system that took care of us. So if you got the chance to by any means or any way take care of them a little bit, come on guys, go for it. Tune in to the REUZEL page at 6 to see my good friend Emily doing a great haircut, explaining you how to use our product. And I'll be back at 7 doing another haircut, a completely different haircut than this one, because I'm going to do a flat top variation somehow on Paco Bacalito. our hardcore punk rock friend from Rotterdam, the living legend himself. Okay, now there is still some old product in there. Yeah. I really have to learn to watch my words. I never really. I mean, I heard English not as much, but the moment I get annoyed, I just go in Dutch. Ja?
Nee, hè?
Echt, hè? Oh my god, I can't believe he's putting so much of that shit in his hair. It's grease, guys. You can use a lot of grease. Yeah? And I like a lot of products. But I only use a lot of products when the hair doesn't need a lot of product. Again, if you need product to make it look good, it's a shitty haircut. Yeah? But if you want to use a lot of product because you like the look, hey, go right ahead, man. And honestly, I am just a sucker for our oil-based pomades. I mean, these are the original pomades as they were made back in the 50s and the 40s. I love the shine of the product. I love the stickiness of the product. And I definitely love the fragrance. There is somehow no way you can ever beat the fragrance of an oil-based product in a water. It's just impossible. There is something. There's something natural about it. It's also like it takes you back, man. It is even when you walk into the shop here. People always say, oh my god, I feel like stepping back in time. That might be the antiques, but it's not. It's the fragrances that in a way remind you of a time gone by that you were never even part of. It's super weird, man. And apparently fragrance is the sense that gives the strongest emotion to human beings. Now, for everybody that's just joining in, I think the thing most of us, barbers and hairdressers, miss the most is that moment when you show your haircut to somebody that has been in quarantine for 3 months. You know, looking like an absolute Bigfoot, Yeti, werewolf. Huh? The big black Rachel. Now, one of the most frustrating things about all of this is that I'm not allowed to give a handshake, you know? But it's all good. Again, guys, this is, you know, we are taking care of other people's health by taking care of our own health, yeah? Don't underestimate it. You might think it's just a physical sickness, but please check your body, your brain, yeah? Make sure everything is in balance. I really, really wish you all to be able to go back to work like us as fast as possible. Tune in at 7 if you want to see another haircut. Thank you for donating. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being awesome.
Yeah.